where the spark is almost here or already over, depending on how you look at it. But the pre-release is almost here, so for the next few days, we'll be going over the top 10 cards to play during your pre-release. And today we'll be starting off with, you guessed it, top 10 Planeswalkers. So let's get started. We're going to go through the top 10 and a few honorable mentions. Okay, let's get started off with a mouthful. Number 10, Kasmina, Enigmatic Mentor. So now we have 4 mana for a 5 loyalty, which is very nice. She only has minus abilities. This is a thing lots of the uncommons have. But her minus is creating a 2/2 wizard. So very cool. She has a way to protect herself. And then you get to draw a card, then discard a card. So always love that little looter effect. She gets to do that at least twice. If you have some like proliferate or something, or you can bounce your player again, you can make more of them. And her stack ability, I really like. It's 2 more mana for them to play their kill spell on your creature or planeswalker. I like that. It can just, buy you some time, not a lot of time in sealed. Like, they get to 6 mana, they're pretty much going to be able to kill it no matter what, but will probably buy you a few turns. And I just really like that. Next at number 9, we have Vivienne, Champion of the Wilds. I like this card. 3 mana for 4 loyalty. That's good. I'll take that. You can cast your creatures at instant speed. I love that. End of their turn, play a creature. So annoying. Her +1 is pseudo protection as long as you have a creature, because it just makes it be able to block, anything almost. Her -2 helps you get a creature, but that's about it. Like, she's a nice little way just to help out your creatures, basically, if you have them. She's not going to win you the game or anything, but I think she's just a nice little support card, and I like that, especially for her 3 mana. Coming at number 8, Soren, Vengeful Bloodlord. I have to say, I think I like this card more than it's actually worth it, because it doesn't really do that much. But I think just giving your planeswalkers and creatures lifelink, I love that. 4 mana for 4 loyalty, that's fine. It's +2, which is nice. It's +2, so if you play it, it has 6 loyalty right there. Kind of hard to kill, but it only does 1 damage to target player or planeswalker. That means you get a life also, but if it was creatures, it'd be a lot better. That's all I'm saying. And also, kind of has a way to protect itself if you have a creature in the graveyard. Say you have a 3 converted mana cost, you can get that creature back. It has 1 loyalty now. You're on thin ice that way. I like this card. It's just that +2, very underwhelming, but it's +2, and that's nice. Number 7, Domri, Anarch of Bolas. So 3 mana for a planeswalker. Once again, I love that. It's in 2 colors, but who cares? Whatever. You're going to play 2 colors. 3 loyalty. All your creatures get a buff. +1/+0. Awesome. It's +1. Helps you cast creatures. Even better. See a little mana ramp there. -2. You get to fight creatures. So I think this card's great. It's cheap. It does what you want to do in those colors. You're ramping. You're fighting creatures. All around great little planeswalker. Not going to win you the game. I think it'll help you get there, but it's not like, oh, hey, I put this down and this game's over now. Next, someone who can win you the game. Number 6, Nyssa, who shakes the world. 5 mana, 5 loyalty. Great. She makes all your forests tap for an additional mana. Awesome. I don't know how important that is at 5 mana. I mean, you've got enough mana there, but maybe now you're able to tap for 10 mana. Probably not, but still. Awesome. Mana ramp right there. Her +1, you just get a 3/3. Your land becomes a 3/3. Vigilance, haste, awesome. Her -8, you just get all your lands. That's not as impressive, but the fact that, you +1 it, you get a 3/3. You have 6 loyalty now. You just do that over and over. You're going to win the game eventually. That's amazing. And, she helps you play like any cards in your hand with all the mana she's making. I mean, you're getting 3/3s for free and then also playing creatures. Like, so good. Mugen, the Ineffable. 6 mana, little pricey, but it's generic mana, can go in any deck, and this card will go in any deck. 4 loyalty, that's fine. Your color spells cost 2 less to cast. I don't care about that. That's not going to happen too often. But +1, you just get a 2/2, and if it dies, you get that card back in your hand. That's awesome. That is great. Especially just that mechanic from the cons block, whatever it was. I think it was Manifest. So you're just making 2/2s. Now, they don't get to morph or anything, but they kind of do get to morph into cards into your hand. So awesome. You're just going to keep doing that. But if you really need to, it's -3, destroy target permanent. That's 1 more colors. That's awesome. When I first read this, I thought it was only destroy target permanents in multiple colors, which not good enough for me. But the fact he just about hits anything except artifacts or lands, and you're probably not going to care about those anyway. Amazing. So, just keep +1ing this, getting your 2/2s, and then eventually just start destroying their permanents. Freaking awesome. Sarkin the Masterless. 5 mana, 5 loyalty. Works for me. His +1, he becomes a dragon. So basically, first turn, 6 loyalty. Awesome. That's great. Don't know if you want to do that right away, because his -3, you just create a 4/4 dragon. And that way you can block, protect him, and then you start building up with his +1 and attacking. And then, let's say you have that 4/4 dragon out. One of a creature controls attacks your planeswalker, deals 1 damage to it. So anything with 1 toughness, dying right when it attacks. Love that. You're able to get multiple dragons. Holy crap. I mean, they're just me stuck not being able to attack because the dragons just keep pinging everything. So love that. He can get out of hand pretty fast. And the fact he makes flyers and sealed, yeah, that's great. At number 3, Nicol Bolas, Dragon God. Now, Nicol Bolas is pretty insane. I mean, he has his abilities, which are already great. +1, draw a card. Opponent exiles card in hand or permanent. Heck yeah, I'll just keep doing that forever. Like, whatever, that's fine on its own. -3, you get to get rid of anything that's annoying you, planeswalker or creature. -8, win con right there. Gonna be easy to get to whenever you just keep drawing cards. And if that's not enough, he has every other ability of planeswalker on the board. So right there, you get to pick and choose what you feel like. Only problem with him is his mana cost is crazy. In sealed, you don't really get to pick what colors you're going. Like, you can try and force Grixis, but it's going to be hard. Like, especially at 3 black, ouch. You open him and your black sucks. I mean, you better rely on your blue and red and then just throw a bunch of black mana in there. It's just hard. It's hard to cast this in sealed, but if you can, holy crap, he's amazing. Gonna win you the game, probably. Now, my number 1 and 2, they easily could have been exchanged. And for number 2, I went with Liliana, Dead Horde General. 6 mana, 6 loyalty. Love that because the unit gets attacked. Still kind of hard to kill it at 6 loyalty. Whenever creature you controls dies, draw a card. That's always great. I mean, value whenever creature dies. Hopefully you take out one of their creatures too. Her +1 makes creatures. There's zombie tokens, which can help with anything else that gives your, like, amass tokens flying or first strike or something. These things count. Her -4, hey, you made a ton of zombie tokens. Guess what? You can sack 2 of those and your opponent has to sacrifice 2 cards they played. Yeah, that's pretty good because, you're still casting creatures and making tokens. They're just casting the creatures they have in their hand and eventually they're going to run out. And the -9, maybe a little overkill. Just make them sacrifice so many things. I think the other 2 abilities are really what's going to win you the game. And if, maybe there's a board stall or something, that -9 is just going to like seal the deal for you. And before we hit number 1, let's go over some honorable mentions. Cards that easily could have been my number 10. Ajani the Great-Hearted. 4 mana for 5 loyalty. Great. All your creatures you control have Vigilant. So everyone's a blocker now. Doesn't matter. They attack. Hey, they still get the block. His +1, you gain 3 life. I mean, doesn't protect himself, but you're gaining some life. He has 6 loyalty. He can still probably survive. He's helping you if you're behind, gaining life, like against a red deck or something, or some aggro. His -2, freaking just putting loyalty counters and +1/+1 counters on everything that you control. Love that. He's just helping out everybody. He's just like the kind of card, if you're behind or at parity, he comes down and the tides are going to turn. So, and also, his -2, you can do twice and he's still alive. That's great. That's why he's great-hearted. Next, we have Teferi, Time Raveler, 3 mana, cheap planeswalker for 4 loyalty. He just has some interesting abilities. Your opponents can only cast their spells on their turn. So if they have any counter spells, gets rid of those. Doesn't really matter too much for limited. If they have any instant speed combat tricks, you won't have to worry about those. If they have any kill spells during combat, you don't have to worry about those. You have to play them on their turn. So, kind of slows them down a little bit. His +1, I mean, It's only sorcery spells, so that kind of sucks that it gives him flash. Wish maybe it was, creatures or just non-creature spells maybe. But yeah, the fact it's only sorcery is, not that great. So sometimes he'll just be ticking up his loyalty and not really do anything with it. And he has 4 loyalty, so his -3 won't kill him right away. He can just bounce a creature or something bugging you of the opponent's side and you can draw a card, which is nice, but it is only bouncing it. It's not getting rid of it forever. So they just get to play it next turn. And now you have a 1 loyalty Planeswalker. He does some work. I like him, but he just, couldn't crack that top 10. And next we have Kaeya, Bane of the Dead. So 6 mana, a little pricey. 7 loyalty though, so that's very nice. She's uncommon, so she only has a minus ability here. And it's exile target creature. I love that. She can do it twice without dying. 6 mana. Would I play a 6 mana sorcery to exile a creature? Yeah, sure. I'm not very excited about it, but I'll still play it in limited. The fact she can do it twice is great. And her stack ability, not too impressive, just gets rid of hexproof. But, there are a couple of hexproof creatures around, so, she can still do a thing there. All right, now let's move on to a number 1 Planeswalker to play in your pre-release. Gideon Blackblade. Gideon is just a workhorse all around. He's 3 mana, so he's super cheap. 4 loyalty, right there. He's a creature that when it comes down, he's just indestructible. You prevent damage to him, so he's not losing loyalty counters if he gets any damage to him. He attacks for 4 on turn 4. I'll take that. His +1 just makes it so maybe him or any other creature you have has Vigilance, Lifelink, or Indestructible. And eventually he can just start exiling any non-land permanent. I don't think he's like the type of card that comes down, you're going to win the game right away. Because basically, it's turn 3. It's not what he's made for. But when he comes down, he's just going to do so much work that eventually, you probably will win the game as long as he's on the board. He's just one of those Planeswalkers when you play it, your opponent has to deal with it right away. And he's pretty hard to deal with. So yeah, love this guy. All right, so that does it for my top 10 Planeswalkers to play during your pre-release. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think. I'm sure there's certain ones you'd put higher or lower. Hey, we're Chandra, right? But just let me know in the comments. I'd be happy to discuss it with you. And stay tuned for all the rest of the colors coming up in the coming days. This program brought to you by viewers like you.